I found out my parents left everything to my brother in their will, and it broke something inside me. Not because I wanted their money, or their house, or the old family cabin up in the mountains. No, it was the betrayal. The cold, hard proof that after 32 years of bending over backward for them, I was worth less than Jake. My little brother, who never showed up when they needed him, who partied through his 20s while I paid their bills, fixed their roof, drove mom to her chemo appointments. I was the one who held their hands through every crisis, but in the end, they chose him. I'll never forget the day I found out. It was a Tuesday, gray and rainy, the kind of day that makes you feel heavy before you even get out of bed. I was at their house, like always, sorting through a pile of their mail because Dad's arthritis made it hard for him to open envelopes. I wasn't snooping, I swear. I was just trying to help, like I'd done 1,000 times before. But there it was, tucked between a utility bill and a coupon for pizza, a letter from their lawyer. The envelope was already torn open, so I glanced at it, thinking it was something routine, maybe about their property taxes. Instead, it was a copy of their updated will. To Jacob Michael Carter, we bequeath our entire estate, including all real property, financial assets, and personal belongings. My name, Ethan James Carter, wasn't even mentioned, not a single word. I stood there in their cramped little kitchen, the one with the chipped yellow cabinets and the coffee maker that always smelled faintly burnt, and I felt like the floor had dropped out from under me. My hands shook as I read it again, thinking maybe I'd misunderstood. But no, it was clear as day. They'd rewritten their will 6 months ago, right around the time Jake had come back to town after years of barely calling. He'd shown up with his new fiancée, all charm and promises, and suddenly he was the golden child again. Meanwhile, I was still the one driving Dad to physical therapy, still the one Venmoing them money for their prescriptions, when their social security checks didn't stretch far enough. I didn't confront them that day. I couldn't. My throat was so tight I could barely breathe, let alone speak. I just folded the letter back up, slipped it into the envelope, and left the pile of mail on the counter. I mumbled something about needing to get to work and walked out. Mom called after me, "Ethan, you staying for dinner?" Like nothing had happened, like my whole world hadn't just cracked in half. I didn't answer. I got in my truck, drove to the empty lot behind the old high school, and sat there for 2 hours, staring at the rain streaking down my windshield. I didn't cry. I wanted to, but the hurt was too deep for tears. It was like a knife lodged in my chest, twisting every time I thought about that letter. For days, I couldn't look at them. I ignored Mom's texts, asking if I could swing by to fix the leaky faucet. I didn't answer Dad's voicemail about needing a ride to the hardware store. I just stopped calling, stopped helping, stopped being their person. It wasn't out of spite, not at first. It was survival. I was drowning in this feeling that I'd never been enough for them, that all the years I'd made, working overtime to cover their bills, missing my own life to manage theirs, meant nothing. If they didn't value me enough to even mention me in their will, why should I keep breaking my back for them? The first week, it was radio silence.
I can tell what happened in the short video, full video on my channel link in below.